heard she likes you. Man, I really want to make it down here. I just can't take my friends right now.
Transit, how we feeling this morning? We doing okay? Anybody in the house feeling alive right now? Okay, let's go. Yo, my name is Jordan. It is good to be with you this morning. If we haven't had a chance to meet yet, man, I'm so excited. I love being together and getting to just meet together at church. I think it's so fun. And if it's your first time here, I think you're going to really love the friends that you're going to meet right here at Transit. I want to know, speaking of friends, does anyone have a best friend? Anyone have a best friend? You got someone you'd say is my best friend. Okay, on the count of three, go ahead and just yell out your best friend. If you don't have a best friend, that's fine. Just name a person. We won't know, okay? Maybe it's the name of your hamster, whatever. I don't care. But just on three, go ahead and tell me the name of your best friend. Ready? 1, 2, 3. This man says his bologna sandwich. What? Give me some more. What were the names? Yourself. I like that. Okay, great. You say your sister? Wow, that's really nice. That's really nice. All right, how about this? Tell me, when you think about your friends, when you think about your best friends, what do you do to get to know your best friends? What do you do to hang out with your best friends? What do you and your best friend do together? You do? Can't hear you unless you say it loud. Say it really. Roller skating? Okay, great. Stuff, that's awesome. What else? Sleepovers, come on. Some video games. Okay. Here's the thing. We're getting into this series that we are calling Close. Everyone say Close. And the series Close, I really believe, could help you get to know God in a close way and help you realize how close God is and how getting to know him is way more like getting to know a friend than it is anything else. But a lot of times we don't see it that way, right? A lot of times we feel like God is this figure up on a mountain that we have to climb up and get close to. But in reality, God is really, really close to us. And a lot of times is just waiting on us to see that he's right there. And we talk about prayer sometimes, right? And what comes to mind? When you think about prayer, things that might come to mind is that you need to say the right words. Or you might feel a little scared. You're like, am I going to say something wrong to God? Like, God seems pretty powerful. If I say the wrong thing, is he going to zap me? Am I done? Like, what happens when I pray if I don't say the right words? Or maybe you feel like when you pray that he's not actually close, so he might not do anything about what you say. Or maybe when you think about prayer, you're like, that's something that pastors do. That's something super spiritual people do. Or maybe when you think about prayer, you're like, I'm so busy. Is anyone busy in here? Anyone like, I'm just busy. I got a lot going on. Yes. And what happens when my life gets busy? Sometimes the first thing I push out is prayer. Maybe I have a good routine. I'm doing a morning devo. It's awesome. But when things get busy, it becomes a little bit easier to just snooze that alarm and to let things go and to stop sitting in prayer. Prayer is how we get to know God, but a lot of times there's all these weird feelings around it, or we're just distracted and don't think about it. We miss one of the most central parts of our relationship with God, which is prayer, right? Jesus one time is on a mountain, and he's sitting on a mountain. It's pretty baller. He's sitting on a mountain, and people are just hearing about Jesus, and they're coming to him. And he keeps it real, okay? He's about to call some people out. Anyone like seeing someone called out? It's kind of fun. This girl right here is like, me, okay? I love seeing people called out. He's about to do that. And it's going to be awesome because there's probably some people in the crowd who do exactly what Jesus is about to talk against, okay? So you got to think about big crowd, Jesus sitting there, and he says this. He says, when you pray. Everyone say that with me. You ready? When you pray. With some gusto, when you pray. Did he say if you pray? No, he said, when you pray. When you pray, don't be like hypocrites. They love to pray standing in the synagogues, which is their version of a church, and on the street corners so that people will what? See them. I assure you that's the only reward that they're going to get. Here's what Jesus is saying. Jesus is saying some of y'all got some things wrong about prayer. He's saying there's some people here in this crowd he's looking at that are treating prayer as a way to be seen. Or they're treating prayer as if they need to say these magic words so that God will do whatever they want. And they're not treating it as relationship, as friendship, as communication. He's saying they're standing out on street corners and they're saying awesome things, but they just want everyone to see them saying awesome things. This would be like, this will be fun. I need a guy. Yes, sir. That was great. No, you don't have to come up here. Don't come up here. Don't come up here. You don't have to come up here. It's okay. You could have. What is your name? Alex. Okay, Alex. Everyone say what up, Alex? Alex, what school do you go to? North Forsyth. Any North Forsyth people in the house? We got a few. Okay, this is great. Everyone loves Alex, okay? Alex goes to North Forsyth. I do not know Alex, but let's say I wanted to become Alex's friend. And I didn't want to go the traditional route of becoming Alex's friend. So tomorrow, I show up at North Forsyth, all right? You walk in, you get off the bus, you get out of the car, whatever. I'm standing outside waiting on Alex. And then Alex gets out of the car. How do you get to school? Car. Okay, Alex's family drops him off. He's there at North Forsyth. And I stand there, and instead of going up and saying, hey, what up, Alex? How you doing, man? I'm Jordan. I stand there on the corner like these guys, and I go, there goeth doth Alex. And he goeth to science class, the great and glorious and majestic Alex. I am so excited to see thee. And I follow him all day, everywhere Alex goes. I'm right behind him, right? Just, yes, Alex now doth go to the bathroom. If I did that all day, am I better friends with Alex for it? No. I'm going to jail if I do that. That's creepy. I would not be any closer to Alex if I stood there and just tried to tell everyone or try to use the fanciest words to get close to Alex. If I wanted to be Alex's friend, what would I do? I'd act normal. Thank you. I would go to Alex and I'd say, how you doing? Where are you from? What's going on in life? What do you love to do, right? And I would share some stuff of mine too. I'd say, here's some things about me. Here's where I'm from. Here's what I like to do. Maybe we would go do something together. Like, that is how you get to know a friend. And Jesus is just saying, some of y'all don't really know how to get to know God because the way you're praying to him is just about what other people see, or it's about trying to use the right words. And he's going to say, let me show you a better way to be my friend. So he says, don't be like them. But, and there's this phrase again, when you pray, everyone say it with me. When you pray, go to your, shut the, and pray to your Father who is present in that. And your Father who sees what you do in secret will reward you. This is awesome to me. Jesus is saying, if you want to pray, if you want relationship, if you want to talk together, you know one of the best things you can do is you can go to your room. And this isn't like your parents telling you go to your room. This is like an exciting go to your room. And he says, go to your room. And what you can do is you leave the chaos out there for a second. You leave the distraction out there for a second. You leave the expectation out there that you're going to say the right thing or clean up your life before you can talk to Jesus. He's like, just leave it all outside the door. Because what he's more worried about than anything is just you and him together in relationship. It's you and him talking like friends, getting to know him just like you get to know your best friend. And I'm telling you that literally tonight, you could go to your room, you could shut the door, you could leave your distractions outside, you could leave your phone outside. Oh my gosh. You could leave all the things out there, and you could close the door, and you could know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the God of the universe, who made the stars and the sun and the moon and you and me, is there with you in your room. And that is the craziest thing in the world to me, that he's right there. And he promises it. He says, your Father is present in that secret place. God is present there in your room. And you have a built-in space in your life that you can use to get away from everything going on the outside. And sometimes it feels like there is way too much going on the outside of that door. And just sit in here for a minute and breathe and sit with him and talk about your day. That's what we're going to kind of dive into in our groups in a second, is that every day you can talk to God about your day. You say this with me, you ready? Every day, like you mean it. Every day, talk to God about your day. It sounds so simple. But God truly wants to be part of your day. He wants to know what was great. He wants to know what was hard. He wants to know what questions you have. He wants to know how you're feeling because he cares, and he will meet with you in that secret place on the other side of the door. Does he want to be everywhere else too? Sure. He wants to be in your class. He wants to be in the car. He wants to be on your team, all the things. He loves that. But I'm just telling you, there's a built-in space that you could use in the morning. You could use at night. You could use in the middle of the day to go and close the door and say, I'm going to leave everything out there for a second. I'm going to sit here for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know. And I'm just going to be with God. I'm going to hang out with God, just like I would a friend. Maybe for you, that's like you're going to go in there and journal with him. I do this a lot because I get so distracted sometimes when it's just like silent and it's me, and my brain is like this little squirrel brain that just is like always looking all over the place, right? And so what I do is I go in there and journal because it helps me focus, and I'll journal a prayer to God. You can do that. You can do that today. It'd be a great way to hang out with God. Maybe you do need to go in and sit in silence. Just pray. Or maybe you go in and you listen to a certain worship song, or I don't know. And Jesus isn't worried about the exact way you do it. He's just saying, let's just hang out. Let's be friends in that secret place on the other side of the door in your room, away from everybody else. Let's just like you and me hang out. Now, if that's daunting to you, if you're like, okay, but once I get there, what the heck do I talk to God about? Or how do I talk to him? Here's some icebreakers with God, okay? I put these together because I really believe them. These are conversation starters. Here's some real things that you could say with God. 1, hey, God, I know you're here. Doesn't that sound so simple? But sometimes I can sit there for 20 minutes and I can just think, oh, this is the craziest thing. You're in the room, and you're here, and you're with me because you care and you love me. Maybe it's today was blank. That you could fill in that blank with a million things, right? Today was hard. Today was good. Today was boring. Today was exciting. Today was fulfilling. Today was the worst day of my life. Today was the best day of my life. Today I failed my math exam. Okay, there's whatever. You could say whatever. Maybe the most fulfilling part of today was blank. Or the least fulfilling part of today was blank. Or maybe it's, God, here are some questions I have. I don't know everything, and there's some stuff going on that I just want to ask you about. He can take your questions. He would love your questions. How about, God, what are you saying to me? What are you speaking into my life right now that I need to hear? Or maybe, God, I want to pray for somebody. I want to pray for a friend, for my parents, for a brother, sister, for someone in my class, whatever. Do you see how all of these things you could really do with a friend as well? These are all questions that would help you become deeper friends with any human. And God's like, let's get to know each other in the same exact way. And he wants to get to know you in that way. And I just promise you that if you try and see him and become friends with him, that he is more than ready to become friends back with you. He's more than ready to get involved in your life. And that this prayer-filled, communication-filled, friendship-filled life with Jesus is just the most fulfilling life you can have. It's the most free life you can have, and it's the life that you were created to live. We're about to go to our groups. Anyone love your group? Anyone a big fan of your group? Yes. Anyone point at a group leader that you love? Point at a group leader that you love. We love our group leaders, and guess what? They're good at prayer, so they're going to help you figure this thing out. I'm going to pray for us first, and then we're going to go there. If you guys would pray with me. Jesus, you are so good, and you want to be our friend, and I pray that you would give us the focus to see you and to sit with you. Pray that you would give us eyes to see what you're doing in our life, and that you would just help us to grow a little closer to you, to use the spaces, the secret spaces that you love to meet us in, to meet with you. It's in your name, Jesus.